fucking internet is terrible. Horrible internet. Let's see here. Makes it a little difficult. One moment, please. Please hold. Everybody's talking about how great the internet is here, but we've been having some problems in our village lately. Good morning, everybody. Give me 1 second. I'm almost done. I'm gonna put this over here. Okay, there we go. And that is the new link there. So I'm gonna shut this one down. Maybe it's my computer, I don't know. But whatever's going on doesn't work very well. Usually my computer doesn't have any problems. So let's see here. Let me shut this down. You know, I'm trying to use Streamlabs, the OBS, and the quality, just for the last two, I did a test on it last night. It seemed to be okay, but I may have to go back to StreamYard. Anyway, give me a second here. I gotta finish up a few things here. Shut this down. We're gonna hit end on that one. All right, so this should dismiss. This should help. Let me shut that down and go here, and then we're back in business. Okay. There we go. Greetings and salutations. Yes, I finally got it working. I've got a setting now where I can put that only people who are subscribed over a certain period of time, which can change whenever I want it to, pretty much, but only people who are subscribed can comment in the live chat. And I think that's a good thing. So, hello everybody. Good morning, Sawadee Kap. And, you know, technical difficulties. The true internet, yesterday we couldn't connect at all in the morning. Had to use the 4G, nothing but the 4G. But I tell you what, they have specials now where 150 baht, you get 100 gigabytes of 4G. And it's fantastic because that's, you know, I get like, I'll pay 300 baht, get 200 gigabytes, and then I don't ever worry about running out. And I can stream, I can do whatever I want. I don't worry about it. So that's great. Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Gennaro. So yeah, I mean, like 300 baht a month. That's basically what I put 500 baht on my phone for phone calls. Leave it there, and it's probably going to last me for a year because most of the time I use Line or I make a short phone call or whatever. But anyway, they have these specials on AIS where you pay 150 baht, you get 100 gigabytes of bandwidth, which is a lot. A 3-hour stream is around 3 gigabytes. So that should give you an idea of just how much it is. But yesterday the internet went down. I had Nicholas contact them and take care of everything. They said, oh, 9 o'clock tonight it'll be better. Well, it's still not better. Uh, we're supposed to get 100 up and 100 down, and we're getting about 25 down and 80 up, but we're not even getting that. So, it's like one time you'll get 80 up, the next time you'll get 20 up. So, it's very inconsistent. And much like the Thai government, I'm sorry to say. Yes, hello, everybody. Let's get that out of the way. Hello, 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 hello. Everybody, hello. Sawadee Kop. And all that good stuff. Sawadee Ton Chow. It's good morning. Okay? So now we got that out of the way. Positive or negative, the truth is the truth. Yeah, let me see something here. The truth is the truth. And the only reason I'm saying this now is because I saw something late last night on Twitter. Let me see if I can find this here. Late last night on Twitter, there's something I need to do here, though, because I know I forgot to do something. So let me do this here. Because I switched streams again, so I didn't have the same settings. But anyway, last night on Twitter, I saw this rant from a guy. It's a little bit of a rant, giving shit to a guy who is a well-known, fairly well-known, at least on Twitter, Thailand expat. And the guy's pretty stable and just, like he's never really too far either in any direction. He's just, he calls it like it is, right? So I'm going to try to bring that up here, but because it was on my phone, I was going to use my phone. But, the guy basically refuses to understand that whether we like it or not, whether we love Thailand or not, the way that things have been handled, I know that they probably are trying as hard as they can and they're hoping for the best and all that, but it's not working. And I don't think it's going to work. And I hate to be negative, and this guy was giving all kinds of people a hard time because they just refuse to put a positive spin on anything. I think it's great that they're saying, let's open up, let's take the risk. But how much of a risk is it if you are putting people through their paces just to be able to arrive here? Well, that's because I had to switch streams again. But anyway, let me just give you some background here. June 28th, there was 5,406 cases, 22 dead. June 29th, there was 4,662 and 36 dead. The 30th was the highest number of deaths to date, and 4,786 people. Hey, Patya Bob. 53 dead. Then July 1st, another high, 57 dead, 5,533. And then July 2nd, 6,087 cases and 61 dead. So this is for all of Thailand. This is not for Phuket. Phuket, I think they said 90 a week, and they're going to have to shut down everything. They're going to shut down the sandbox. Nobody can play in the sandbox. But yesterday they had. Let me get to this Twitter guy though, because what the hell was his name? um, well, India has a lot more people. I don't know percentage wise how it breaks down, but and I understand that this really, when you put it in context, oh well, that's not that many deaths. So I understand people going, listen, just open up. The other thing I understand is that whether you want to call vaccinations or not, get the people vaccinated, get it done, and then open up. Now let me find this guy because this was the whole thing here that I wanted to get into, because he, you know, I don't know. I'm quick to notice when somebody seems, I don't know, what does they call it, virtue signaling, and it sort of seems like that. Um, in many cases when it comes to what's going on here. There are a lot of people here in Thailand and also outside of Thailand. Listen, I love Thailand. Thailand is my home. There are negatives. That's the only thing I ever say. I don't say I hate everything about Thailand. Oh, it sucks. It's a shitty place to live. No, I've never said that. Now, there are some things that I don't like, and they can be shitty, but very few. For the majority of the time, things are great here. How the government has reacted to or been proactive with regards to this vaccination and also opening up in Phuket is another matter. So I don't have a problem saying that. And I think that's the truth. Now, let me say this. Let me get over here with this guy here with what's going on in this thing here. Listen, my wife is deathly afraid of. I said to her this morning, I need to go out and go somewhere. I mean, besides just going to the grocery, I really need to go somewhere and show what's going on. I'm not all that fearful of the virus. Maybe I should be. Maybe that's being naive, but she does not want me to go out. She doesn't even really want me to go to the grocery. She's scared I'm going to get to Delta. And yes, you know, there are some questions about how strong how effective the Sinovac is. So you know, listen. Let me find this here. I got the guy's name. Let me find this area where he wrote. It just really, I mean, I almost never write about anything. And this guy is, I don't know, maybe 30, young guy, you know, been here a couple of years. Oh, I love Thailand. It's so wonderful. It's the people are the best. You know, and I understand. Everybody goes through their little honeymoon phase here, and you know, most people, they understand. If they're fairly sane, they understand that Thailand is just like anywhere else. It really is. There are great things about the place and there are bad things about the place. I say that about America as well. And I think the good outweighs the bad. So this guy said the only negativity I'm seeing about the Phuket sandbox is on the internet. Residents, small business owners, and people working to make this happen are desperately optimistic and happy to contribute to making it work, hoping for the best. Now, I think most people are hoping for the best. If you can hold off 2 weeks after the second shot, Sinovac will keep you out of the hospital. Listen, the shot's coming soon. I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm not, you know, I want to get fully vaccinated, if not for any other reason than to be able to not have to deal with a lot of the crap that's going on here. Well, here's the thing, too. You can't blame the tourists if the majority of the infections are coming outside of Phuket when people, right now, for the next 2 weeks, you can't blame it on the tourists. And this is what they want to do. I don't know, is there indoor dining in Pattaya right now? I don't even remember. I can't keep up with all this. And I've been really going hard with trying to figure things out and seeing what's what and all the numbers. But the guy, right, he goes on and he says, when typing your shitty negative comment, he's talking to another guy, not me. He hasn't addressed me yet, you know. When typing your shitty negative comment, remember that this is a public forum, lending itself to the public image of this program and country. Now, mind you, this guy is a blogger, but he calls himself a journalist. If you love living here and you want to succeed, reframe your words about how unhappy you are that people are getting a chance to succeed. I am very happy that people are getting a chance to succeed. However, what good is it if no one comes and they get that chance? So it's not enough just to open up. It's open up smartly. And I think that, honestly, and I've said this before, I think the government or the Tourism Authority of Thailand is so far out of touch with the reality of how foreigners think, Westerners at least. I don't know about, you know, the Asians, and I can only guess, and I can guesstimate. And he's talking about, well, I'm here. Now he's in Phuket. The guy went to Phuket. Okay, I've been in Phuket in the last couple of months. I talk to people. They want it. Of course they want to open up. They don't want to lose their businesses. It's idiotic to say anything other than that. They want to open up. But do they want to open up and know that, oh, I'm going to die? No. Now, the chance of that is very slim because most of the people who are, you would think that most of the people, they've been tested 4 freaking times or at least twice before they can even go anywhere on the island. You would think that they're safe and that they're not going to get all that sick. You know what I mean? So that alone is it's great that, okay, they're not going to get sick, but the whole rigmarole, the whole dance that you have to go through to be able to get in, I don't think, again, I'm going to say this, I don't think there's enough for the foreigners. I think there's more for the government and for the country and for the people. And listen, if you go to a country, if I go to Ecuador, hey, I want everything to be good there. I want the people to prosper. I want them to benefit from me being there as a tourist. But I'm not going there for them, only for them. I'm going there for me. And that's what I think these people are forgetting. They put up a video the other day, 1,300 thumbs down, 98 thumbs up, and they took the video down. This is the PR department of Thailand. They took the video down. What does that say about their own confidence and what people really think? I put a poll up. There have been numerous polls. I don't get it. So this guy's talking about how the people in, apparently the Phuket residents, the natives, the locals, they know that the prime minister, they knew the prime minister was coming yesterday. And they weren't even really quite sure why, okay? Now, this is a guy who says, and I'm sorry, I gotta laugh at this. Wearing a mask on the beach really isn't bad. If you regularly wear a mask anyways, you likely won't notice a difference between wearing it on the windy beach in normal circumstances. If it means we can sense other normalcy, I'm in. Now, I don't know about you, and I'm just going to get blunt. Since when did somebody since when did it become normal to think wearing a mask on the beach is, it's not that bad? Really? Listen, buddy, this guy's, I don't get it. And it pissed me off. I'm reading this, I'm going, you fucking idiot. You're the idiot. For everybody asking about water in the mask, they said you can swim without your mask, but you are required to swallow it whole to prevent pollution. Oh, fuck you. I think he's trying to be a joker here, but this is probably the same guy who goes and jumps into the water with two masks on. Okay, so I guess bar owners down in Patong are or have prepared souvenirs for people instead of trying to sell alcohol. Whatever works, but I will bring this back to the speed of getting people vaccinated. And if, the video yesterday was basically, it was really more about just showing what was going on and how they went about vaccinating people. And they did a very good job. Once you got in there, it was a production line, man. It was great. It was a piece of cake. Honestly, it was so easy just to go in, get out. It was great. Now, let me get to my part where I responded to this guy, because it's nuts, man. Let me see if it's in this one. Yeah, Thank you. Let's see here. Okay, he's really, I'm depressed. I was hoping Phuket would be successful, so it opened up better than that. Looks like other countries for me. Well, I mean, listen, 347 people yesterday. And out of those, I think they only counted, let me see here, 327 or something like that. Total of 347 passengers on flights from Israel, United Arab Emirates, Qatar, and Singapore. 23 disembarked in Phuket, while the rest went to. Okay, this is from Etihad. Well, this is what I'm saying, Carlos. I mean, be realistic. And the guy. I just kept reading this stuff, and I just kept getting more and more like, come on, it's like we're not in America now. I want to tell the truth. I want to be honest. I want to be able to speak without some asshole, he's probably an American, sorry, telling me, oh, you shouldn't say things like put a positive spin on it. I wish I could put a positive spin on it. The positive spin is the Thai people, they're always willing to work hard, and they're great, and that they are opening. However, let's look at all the negatives, and there are so many that it's just ridiculous. Let me see here. Oh yeah, I love this part right here in this article that I was looking at. Starting on Thursday, Phuket waived quarantine requirements for foreign tourists who have been fully vaccinated against COVID-19 under the sandbox model, which is being touted as a model for the reopening of the country's tourism industry. Okay, great. I like that part. However, as a precaution, tourists will have to remain on the island for 14 days before they are allowed to travel to other destinations in the country. Oh, God. Other provinces should follow the example of Phuket and come up with measures to prepare for the reopening of the country over the next 120 days, General Prayut said. He stressed that Thailand's reopening, now hear this, requires well-thought-out action plans and takes into account people's livelihoods and businesses. And I just get irritated when I read this stuff. I mean, it's just so ridiculous. It's like it's all propaganda now. It's almost all propaganda. That's the way I look at it. It's like, oh yeah, we're the greatest. There you are, Steve. Well, I was wondering, I figured you were just busy. Oh, kitung magna. How you doing? Everything. Now, here's something. All right. Everything begins with the first step. We have to speed up in Phuket. If not, we can't move forward. No, you don't need to speed up in Phuket. You need to speed up the inoculations. You need to garner some confidence in people. And let me just tell you one thing. One thing that I gathered from yesterday or a couple days ago when I went to get the vaccination and I was speaking to the driver, and I said something like, I want to know, and I think Thai people would like to know, why have things been so slow? And you know what he said? He said, not only why have they been so slow, but they're not even giving us the good brands. They're giving us what's considered inferior by many people. And I've always say this, perception is extremely important, especially to outsiders. The perception of Thailand has long been, my own mother said this to me a long time ago. She said, in Thailand, you get anything you want, right? I go, just about. And with women, they all think, Thailand, it's full of those whores. Lots of whores there. And really, when you look at it percentage-wise, it's not all that many, but okay. They got whoring built into it's a built-in system, unlike some places, which, they throw you in jail for 5 years because you want to crack a nut with some chick. Like Amsterdam here, I think there's something to say for this. Okay? Now, let me go back to this, all I can call him is, I'm not even going to say it. And then there's some other guy going, well, if you're a travel writer, you won't think like this. You won't only think like... And I'm like, it doesn't matter what kind of writer you are. It doesn't matter what kind of thinker you are. Really, if you want to be a sound, analytical thinker, you want to think critically, you will look at all sides of the equation. Now, here's a nice way of saying it. It's really a shame the process is so complicated for people to come. I'm trying to organize it for my family to come, and it's really a nightmare. Okay, now here's a guy who liked what I wrote. He said, being against the sandbox plan as currently laid out is not being negative. We want Phuket to be successful and think the best route to success is altering this plan drastically. Okay? Now, what I will say, and I've said this for a long time, is never underestimate the Thais, because somehow it's like they pull a rabbit out of their ass. They manage somehow. You think they're never going to do it, and they do it. I think they're really behind the 8 ball here, and this is not something to joke around with, and it comes down to how do you want to think about this virus and about vaccinations and how you live with it. And I do have a video coming up tonight about the Singapore ideal and a model of what they want to do in the future, which is basically learn to live with the virus. Figure it out. But don't close everything down. Get people vaccinated. And then if you're older and you're at risk, then take extra precautions. You got some good mentions from Foreign Joe. Oh, well, thank you. I always knew I never talk about other people on here, but I know there are certain people in the Thailand genre here on YouTube that are good people, and I always knew he was a good guy. And the other guy, Chuck, I wanted to, I'm always hesitant to kind of like impose myself and say, hey, can we meet up and that kind of stuff. When I went to Nakhon Phanom, there are some good people here. And I do appreciate it. And hopefully he can use this new feature that YouTube came out with as well, because no one wants to have to deal with some of the knuckleheads that come in once in a while. Let's see here. I also hope... I'm not going to read that one. That was nothing good here. Here's one. How can you be so positive when you plan to come on July 1st, but the authorities and systems are not ready to handle your applications, not to mention the last minute changes and decisions. It's been like this in Thailand. They are not able to organize something before a deadline. He's got a point. Basically, the laws or the everything didn't get into. Oh well, that's good to know. It just got published into the Royal Gazette like the day before people are supposed to come. So now, for somebody who is like really a stickler and who wants to travel smartly, and they're like, I'm not about to piss away a bunch of money to go to Thailand. I don't care how much I love the place and love the people. I'm not about to piss away a bunch of money or have to worry about getting it all back or think about, oh, I got to get my refund from this and that. And, can I get a refund? People don't want to have to deal with that bullshit. So a day before, that puts them behind the 8 ball already, because now once things get rolling, people are going to go, okay, well, let me see what happens after a couple of weeks, and then maybe I'll book something. Oh, thank you, Steve. Thank you very much. I was wondering where you were, but I just thought, you're busy. You're a busy man. YouTube, I understand YouTube is not everyone's life. I try to remember that all the time. So thank you, and Choke D. Just getting here. My information technology friend at Bangkok messaged me, now has at least 1 death in her building, as well as 50 positives. Listen, I'll tell you something else. I got a buddy. He just moved, and he's been playing basketball to get a little exercise. And he played for 3 days, and then he goes out one day, and it's all taped off. Sorry, closed because of COVID. He's like, what the fuck? I can't go out and play basketball? There's nobody on the court, and I can't go play basketball? This is, illogical logic. Listen, I don't doubt that in Phuket, they are making the procedures as painless as possible. The people working there are doing their best. I understand this. I think where the breakdown begins is right from the top. And I'm talking about the whole government. The way they think, the tourism authority, the lack of connection with people. Because had they said, hey, listen, you're vaccinated already, we're going to vaccinate people in Phuket. You can come in. You don't have to test. You don't have to do anything. And then after 2 weeks, if everything is cool, or, as of July 15th, we are going to start this what are they calling it? The sealed travel, sealed bubble or whatever, where you can go to Koh Samui or something. Even that, though, you are basically telling people you are quarantined to this island. It's like Alcatraz, except a hell of a lot more beautiful and more things to do and not cold, So, you can look at it both ways, but I just think that when I'm going to travel, now, I've traveled to some pretty gnarly places and to some places that were very difficult, and I'll give you an example of something that Longhorns and I thought about, and I've talked about this many times, is the Kakabaratsi trip, which I saw on a National Geographic show. And there's a half a dozen world-class climbers, and they weren't world-class travelers, and that was kind of evident from the beginning. But they had done, their share of travel. But they were world-class climbers. And so they were going to go climb this mountain to see if it was the tallest mountain in Southeast Asia. I've talked about this many times. Now, I'd love to just go, okay, let's go. It's not that simple. It's a huge endeavor. And this is where, either you separate the men from the boys, or the rich from the poor, or however you want to deal with it. But when you go there, you have to go, you fly in, and then you've got to take another flight up to northern Myanmar, which you have to have a permit to get into this place, right? Then you take like a truck, and then you got to take another truck, and then you got to walk through the jungle for like a week. When people call me during my stream, people I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who that is. Anyway, where was I? Let me read this guy's thing here. One guy says here, "Oh, misery loves company. That's why people are talking about Phuket in such a negative way." No, they're not talking about it that way. Phuket is not one of my favorite places because it's a tourist area. Like I said, to go to Phuket's a piece of cake. You just fly there. You're there, right? But to go to like Kakabaratsi, it's like a 10-step trip just to get to into the jungle. I mean, it's gnarly, okay? 24,000 people and no mask. Wow. Yeah, I heard about who was it? I think Chuck told me about. I don't know what the hell the team is now, but he said there was something like 52,000 people, and nobody was wearing masks, or very few people. So here's another guy. He says, "Suck on that opium deep into your lungs," which I really like that. Instead of opium, suck on the hopium. And here's a good question, which I think they have these guidelines down now, but what happens if your children test positive and you don't? Or what happens if you test positive and your children don't? What do you do with your kids? All right, here's another one. Those who will dare to arrive these months are either desperate for Thai meat or somehow misguided and skewed. Surely Phuket will never recover to its previous status, and maybe that will push Thais from their papa mama shops, God-forsaken street food, and commission-based crooks. I don't know about God-forsaken street food because I don't really agree with that. I like street food, and while they're overpriced there, you know, that's neither here nor there. Let's see here. Now, here's another guy. I'm just happy that something is finally happening so that Thailand can move on from 16 months of economic devastation. Okay, so brings up a good point, because how beneficial is it for them to open up? Just how beneficial is it? Who is gonna prosper? I think the government mainly is gonna, and the governments and the hotels, the corporations, they're gonna prosper more than anybody else. But it's good if if it provides enough income and revenue for some of the vendors and the people on the streets to make a living for the next couple of months and tide them over, then that's great. I mean, I think that's fantastic. Let me get back to this, though. Okay, so the one guy who wrote shitty comments, you give these shitty comments, and he said, shitty comments, as you put it, are born out of frustration with one's personal circumstances, and you won't change that. Let's be honest. There's plenty to get frustrated about as of late. But I think everyone wants folks to survive and prosper whenever possible. So here's what really got me again. Right. And putting personal frustration onto a public forum, Twitter, negatively impacts the image of a program that has direct impact on the lives of people who are trying to survive. It's counterproductive, not to mention it's coming from people who aren't here to see it. And see, this is the thing. I have seen it. I did see it. And what I can tell you is that while it's great that you help the vendors and everybody else, what about the people that have to travel halfway around the world and pay through the nose so that they can come over here, and then they're wondering, like, what else can I do here? What am I going to do? I guess I can go to the beach. Okay. And I think you can have a great time. It's about your frame of mind, and to you is 2 weeks worth going there and just staying there. And I think there are some very good cases. There's some good reasons that you can stay there for 2 weeks. I just think it's all the hoops you have to jump through. I think it's too much. And I think that most people are going to go, pfft. And what I was going to say about the Kakabaratsi is, once I started figuring out how many porters you needed, how many days it would take, how many days it would take to get back, some of the dangers, the amount of money you'd have to spend, which is just crazy. I was like, it's not worth it. And as Jono likes to say, the juice is not worth the squeeze. For me. Now, for somebody else, I hope it is. I hope they have a fantastic time. I hope Phuket does phenomenally and they meet their goals. I don't see it happening. I really don't see it happening. And 347 people times 30 equals about 10,000 people a month. And if that continues, now it could increase, could decrease. That's 30,000 people for 3 months, where they were talking about 129,000. And, you know, so it's not like I want to bash. I don't want to, but I got to tell the truth. What are you going to do? You're going to lie? Oh, yeah, let's come on down. I'm going to bring my whole family over. Listen, if I had to bring my family to the United States, this is another thing. If these kind of implementations were put or necessary to get into the United States for Thai people, would they want to bring their whole family over there? Only the wealthiest, only the people who were very patient and they had plenty of time and all that, those were the ones that would go. Now, what percentages of that is that of what you would call regular tourists, normal travelers? I think it's very small. So I think they've got their work cut out for them, really. Now, this guy says, I dare anyone to come talk to the owners of these shops that are nearly starving and then go online. First of all, people in Thailand, yes, they may not have food in their house. They may be struggling. I'm not going to say that they're not. However, most people, if they are really short on food, they will never starve here. I doubt that's going to happen. It is ingrained in Thai culture to help other people they don't even know. You're walking by. King Khao Mai? Have you eaten yet? You want something to eat? Here, try this. You know, that is something that is prevalent everywhere. So I dare anyone to come talk to the owners of these shops that are nearly starving and then go online to trash talk a program that was made to try and help them out of this. It's a slap in the face and barely hopeful that it works. No, it's not the best. It's all they have. Okay, I agree. It's not the best, for sure. And it is all they have. I'll agree with that. However, you know, I did talk to some business owners when I was there, and they weren't happy. And you know what they weren't happy with? Of course they weren't happy that they were closed, but they weren't happy with how the government was handling it. I don't know what is so difficult to understand about this. Just because you, listen, if I try, no, I don't want to say that. I was going to say something really vulgar, but let's not go there. I'll try to put it in a little more mainstream. I'll make it a little more mainstream. You know, if I try to become a professional basketball player, what's the chance of that happening? If I am 5'5", what is the chance I'm going to be in the NBA? Very, very small. I can tell you that. My chances are extremely limited, right? Now, even if I'm 6'5", but I'm a crappy player, I'm still fairly limited because there are guys that are 6'5" who have talent that will get in. Now, granted, that's not always the case. There are guys that are 7'4", just because of their sheer bulk, because of their strength, they will be able to get in or whatever. But what I'm saying is, being inept or incapable of pulling something off does not make trying. Oh, well, they're trying. At least they're trying. Listen, you know what? He got 8th place, but he got a trophy. Give him a trophy. Ugh. That's the mentality. To me, that's the mentality. Well, listen, we opened up, so we did our best and we tried. But, you know, we didn't generate all that much revenue. I hope I'm wrong. And it's really, right now, it's, you know, this is the 2nd day. Things could turn around. Things could get much better. However, if you look at what's going on in the country, you are dealing with the worst numbers that they've had. Who the hell is going to want to go from Phuket and go somewhere else? Especially if they're saying, oh, we're going to have to check you, we're going to have to test you, we're going to have to do this. Ugh. I feel like I'm banging my head on the wall. Yeah, I don't know. When I'm asked if I've been vaccinated, I respond upon well, one thing that I've noticed is this vaccination thing is such a big deal, and this is what I said in the video. I feel like, you know, like I'm going in, I'm going to go have a major procedure done on me. All they're doing is sticking a needle in me. You know how many needles I've had stuck in me in my life? A lot. Probably hundreds. And I never give a shit. But because of this, I'm like, it's so important. $18 an hour, huh? Oh, you got a rash from it. Wow. Plan to be in Thailand in January unless I feel it's too much of a hassle. Exactly. This is what it comes down to. Is the juice worth the squeeze? I love that phrase. But what I was going to say is, can you imagine now being in the dating world? Oh, babe. Hey, sweetheart. Listen. You know, I just want to let you know, first of all, I had my HIV test. I'm negative. Second of all, I've been vaccinated. I got the two shots of the Moderna. I'm good to go, baby. You don't have to worry about me. So why don't we, hey, let's go out. All right? Come on. Let's go out, honey. Can you see that? I guarantee you some guys are using the old, I've been vaccinated, like, don't worry about me. What about you? Are you vaccinated? Sweetie, you're beautiful. I love you. You got a hot body, but you're not vaccinated. I don't think I can be with somebody who's not vaccinated. Maybe that's in the future. I do see in the future also, you want to come in our establishment, you must be vaccinated. Now, how are they going to know here? They didn't give me any paper. The only paper they gave me was an appointment. Where is it? I lost it. No, I didn't lose it. It's in the plastic over there. They just gave me an appointment card. That's it. 14-year-olds are now able to work 30 hours a week at McDonald's for $14 an hour. Listen, I pity the people working at McDonald's. It's hard work, man. I wouldn't want to do it. Out of coffee. Where are we at for time? 49 minutes. I'm not going over 75 minutes today. So we have all these things, and then you got people whining. There's too much nonsense there now. I really want to come back like everyone else, but I'm not doing all the tracking, quarantine, controlled movement. I got a message from somebody yesterday, and they've got a friend who knows a guy, and basically what they were saying is that Canada is they are contemplating putting forward a bill that makes it mandatory for anyone leaving the country to have to get prior approval from the government. I'm not joking. And when I think of that, oh, that just infuriates me. Because, think about something. I don't, listen, I'm an American. I love my country. I live in Thailand. And you know why? Because I can live wherever the fuck I want. I don't have to live in America. I don't have to live in Thailand. If I want, I can go, and it's up to me to be able to take care of myself and meet all the requirements and everything like that. But I have the right to go wherever I want. I don't like that controlled movement shit. They try to pull that shit in Canada. I guarantee you people they're gonna be like, listen, I'm leaving before this shit goes. I'm sneaking out. I'll do whatever. I can't see that passing, but look at Australia right now. Well, the whole world is starting to turn into a version of the CCP. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. But like I said, I told my wife, listen, I'm going to go, I really want to go and check this out. And, someplace really cool. I got some ideas. Where do you think I should go? And she's like, go? She's like, you shouldn't go anywhere. She's like, you don't need to go. Don't you know the Delta strain is out there? It can stay out in the air for 16 hours. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, you know what? If it's badder than I am and it kills me, then okay, I understand. Maybe that's the way that things will work. That's it's in the cards. I mean, if it was really that bad where I couldn't go anywhere, I would be much more worried. I don't think we're at that point. I don't think that this virus is that bad. I think if you're older and you have some pre-existing conditions, comorbidities, okay, you got to worry about it, and you got to take precautions. Now, I mean, how many precautions can I take? I wash my hands like 50 times a day. I mean, I got the gel. I carry the gel with me. I got a little thing of gel I stick in my pocket. I don't get it. What more do I need to listen? All media lies. All media lies. Good morning there, Mr. Jono. There he is, Mr. Pizza. Personal chef to Mr. Longhorns. And an American in Bangkok. At all. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing, too. And I don't know if anybody knows this, but Thailand, I don't know if they still do, but they used to have a real problem with hepatitis. And fighters would be denied fights overseas because they had hepatitis. Now, do you know why they had hepatitis? It's not because they're a bunch of filthy motherfuckers. It's because what they do is they share food. And a lot of time that means like there's sticky rice, they stick their hand in it, they take it out, they eat, they grab some more. Now they touch their mouths. They're using lap, they're eating omelets, they're sharing food. And so they are passing along the virus. And that was something that I was like, wow, man, that's crazy that because of their culture, they have a problem with this. Now, I don't know now, but I know back, say, 10 years ago, there was a problem with it. And I was like, man, I got to make sure that I'm okay for it. And I got tested, and I got my, I got a vaccine, whatever it is they give you for it. Whoa! Thank you, Mr. Tom. Thank you. Slice of Jono's Pizza. Can I help you? What people don't know is that Jono's going to open up a pizza joint here, and I'm going to be the head maitre d'. Jono's Pizza, can I help you? Thank you, Tom and Choke D. I I just heard what's being said. Funny that Joe Biden said he wants all Americans to be able to get the shot. What he neglected to say add, or rather say to add all people on U.S. soil. You owe like 14 people pizza. Wow. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. This is crazy times right now. I never thought I would see this. I never thought I would hear any of the things going on in the government. Uh, don't know if you. I mean, there's just you have threats. Well, what I was going to say is, Jono, if Longhorns and I go down to Pattaya, maybe you got to bring a pizza. I don't know. I don't know how, the thing is everything changes day to day. All right, so listen. I got to say something. Please remember to smash that like button. Smash it, bash it, pound it, hammer it, whatever you want to do. Hit the like button, please. If you are not subscribed, subscribed. If you are not subscribed, please do so. Because if you want to comment in the live chat ever, and you don't subscribe, you're never going to comment. It's that simple. Because now that they have this, that's going to be a requirement. Thank you very much for giving me a thumbs up, Paul. Thank you. Oh, it never works out that way. It's, illogical logic, Steve. That's the new catchphrase of the day. Illogical logic. Also, if you'd like a t-shirt like this, or the This is Thailand shirt, or Bar Girl Lives Matter, or I Don't Hate People, then right now there is a sale going on until July 5th. Use the code HEATWAVE, and get 10% off all your orders. Let's see here. Here is I'm going to put the link in here. Heatwave. Oops. Let's see. I can do it this way better. Most shirts go up to 5L. Some of them only go up to like XXL, XXXL. My lobby lady, people from the condo, my barber and his girlfriend, I will get their line addies to you. All right. Who's to say the vaccine won't cause any problems later in life? Okay, and who's to say that it will? I mean, I don't think we know either way. I think it's an assumption at this point. And to be honest, like I said, for me at least, I'm a little older. I don't expect to be around forever. I'd be very surprised if I lived another 25 years. And, whatever happens, happens. I'm gonna side with calculated risk here. Get a slice of Thailand, and while there, get a slice of Jono's pizza. There you go. Come to Thailand, get a special slice of Jono's pizza, and get his autograph as well, all for just $19.95. Jono, the chef to the stars. Man, you could spin just about anything. If you really want to, you can spin stuff. Super duper, man. New Bangkok model, free slice. Hey, listen. You only give the free slice to the VIPs, the special VIPs. I'll tell you what I learned a long time ago, and some Thai girl told me a long time ago. She said to me, she said, in Thailand, have nothing free.ไม่มีอะไร free. No, half. Nothing's free. I was like, really? Scott, I was hoping for a VAC enhancement in all the right place. I had just been talking about that, where what you guys don't know is I had a side effect. All right, I gained an extra 4 inches. So now I'm at 14, and I'm like, how did that happen? I was like, must have been the vaccine the other day. I think in U.S. have health reason for vaccine too. Poontang, that is. Yes, for sure. Hep A is food transmissible. B and C, blood, sex, tattoos, IV drugs. Yeah. Yeah, I always forget which is which, but they had a bad problem. What's that incentive? I knew somebody was going to come out with that. Scott always sounds better. 14 centimeters. Oh, that's tiny. It's like a little baby. Now, the only reason I'm streaming today, to be completely honest, is because I feel bad for Longhorns. He's in quarantine. You know, Sinovac makes Chinese guys go from 2 inches to 6 inches now. We can say all kinds of things. But you know what? I think that it's all going to work out. No matter what, it's going to work out. It will work out. One way or the other. That means for good or bad, it's going to work out. Positive or negative, it's going to work out. You know. Give me the Sinovac then. Side Trip Life. I think they're hoping to open that route on July 15th, and I really hope they do, because that would be good. Give people, you give people another place to go, and then it's not quite as restrictive, and I think that's always good. But I don't think it's definitely not finalized yet. And from the numbers, they really need to get more people coming in here. I'll tell you that right now. They need to get more people here. Yeah, everybody's like, I need another 4 inches. Sign me up. I'll get that shot. Now listen, if you were to tell people, hey, men, come to Thailand, and we'll give you the Sinovac vaccine, and guess what? We guarantee you gain another 4 inches down yonder. People would be running here. We called the tripod. The craziest cannot stay at this level of crazy for very long. Well, like I said, it's going to work out one way or the other. Things always kind of pan out, and it takes time. It's a start. The government needs to show Thai people no worries about this, thus all the initial restrictions. No. Well, that's great. See, here it is. You're saying it too. The government has to show all the Thai people. No, you know what the government has to do? Inoculate them all. They don't have to show them shit. What they need to show is the tourists that you can come to Thailand. It's very safe. You're going to be okay. And we are going to give you something more than just, okay, well, you can come now. That ain't enough. Think about that. Thailand's so worried about its own people. Well, get them inoculated then. Get them vaccinated. Get it done. %70 in Samui. I hope that number is accurate. I'm a little pessimistic about their numbers. I don't think that Phuket is 70% yet, despite what they say. 70% of a target group is not necessarily 70%. But, okay. I'm not somebody who is like steadfastly stuck to some restriction that says, oh, you can't come in. I'm definitely not. I think it'd be great if they could just open up and let people in, like Singapore wants to do. But even Singapore has said, we are not ready to do that yet. We need to vaccinate more people. Once we do that, we're going to treat this just like the flu. We're going to learn to live with it. And I think that's the right way, that's the right mindset, that's the right path to success. But, again, and this is something else that, people forget is, listen, the government's made up of humans. They're fallible, and they're just, they're trying to do the best they can. Now, I think that they could have done a lot better when it comes to this Phuket sandbox model, and they could have done things more expediently. But that's neither here nor there. It's done. They're open. So let's hope that lots of people come in and that the people of Phuket, they benefit and, at least make enough money to get through this to help them. Walking Dead presents An American in Bangkok. Oh, man. I'm just going to walk hobbling along. Fantastic. Now, here's another guy. I like this one. I remember this one. There's every reason to criticize the government for the way they have put this program together, for the complexity, for the various changes and U-turns, for the very last second issuance of country list and publication in the Royal Gazette. You could add in criticism of the vaccination program from start to finish, because two things go together when it comes to reopening the economy. Criticism is valid, and they've earned it. This is the thing. It's not like people are criticizing them and they're like, hey, what did I do? No, you are the ones who made the choices. For better or worse. I know it's not easy. I wouldn't want to be in their shoes. So he continues, criticizing and cheering for success are not mutually exclusive. You can do both at the same time. I am absolutely in every way cheering for this program. At the same time, I'm hoping they streamline and improve it based upon the comments and criticism they're receiving. I know 3 foreigners, this is what he said, and I know several as well. I know 3 foreigners who looked into it and flatly said, no, too expensive and complicated. I'll vacation somewhere else. And this is what really needs to be changed. You have to think about, what are we going to give the people? Are you going to give them a great time here that makes it worth all the hoops? Doubtful. Are you going to make it so easy to come in and so trouble-free that they're like, wow, that's a piece of cake, like Mexico. Mexico's pretty easy to get into. The difference in Thailand, the Batgirl zombies, don't growl, they slur. Hey, handsome man. It's been easy, Stephen. Another day I get to open the balcony. After that, I could do this forever. You can't even open the balcony up right now? Why is that? Because you haven't, your test results haven't come back? What are they worried? You're going to carry on a relationship with the girl next door? You're going to be leaning out over the railing and talking to her, and you might both get it? You have to pass the second test first. Now, you see, we're talking about Bangkok now. To me, that's ridiculous. You can't even open your balcony. Are you on the first floor or on the second floor or what? You're on the second floor. So, yeah, you're going to go out there and you're going to breathe, and then everything's going to float along, and it's going to go and hit somebody, and they're going to get it, and then, of course, you're going to get blamed for it, or the foreigners are going to get blamed for it. See, this is what I mean. Maybe they need to explain some of their illogical logic. All right, Steve, take it easy. Take care. Be safe. Yada, yada, yada. All that good stuff. The rooms are at least half full with ASQ from what I could see. Readings. I don't doubt that they're happy to be there. I have no doubt the people that once they're there, they are happy to be there. Now, let's see in another week or two if they're still happy. I would think they would be for the most part. Some people might be like, hey, I didn't really want to come here. I wanted to go to this place, but very few of those. But what I will say is, you know, they're over the moon happy to be in Phuket. I don't know. I mean, I guess, it's hard for me to relate to because I'm here and I live here and, I haven't had to think about, coming into the country during something like this. And I think it's good if they're happy. That's a good start. I'll say that. It's a good start. And what I would say is that after jumping through all the hoops that they have to jump through, once they're here, you would think that they would be happy because they're like, I've gotten through most of this now. I don't have to deal with anything. One thing I don't really know much about, and I wish I knew a little bit more, and my wife has talked about it a little bit, but is the minder that every night they make sure that you are staying in the hotel, that you are there. You have to report to them. So I don't know, is this just you have to go in and scan something and then you just go to your room, or I don't know what it is. But Longhorns, what was it you told me about yesterday where the app sent you a message saying to log in or something like that? And that kind of stuff, like, especially for somebody like him who doesn't usually have a phone, doesn't want a phone. Anything for Scott's and Longhorn's pizza session. Oh yeah, you had to turn your Bluetooth on so that you could connect to their app. Because their app probably periodically checks your location, which is what, most apps do that if you leave it on. I always tell them you can only check the location if I'm using the app. Yeah. There you go. You see? Another irritation. Well, Thailand Heron, I mean, the rules are a lot more strict because there are more and more deaths and more cases than last September. I mean, the numbers are going up. They're not going down. Things are not getting better. The number of people that have been vaccinated is relatively small. And I will say that one thing, I was very impressed with how the hospital went about vaccinating people. It was a production line. It was like boom, boom, boom. Step one, step two, step three, boom, you're done. All right, get out of here. China is celebrating a 100-year anniversary. Reported that Chinese military altered the virus to escape, and the CCP let it infected. Yeah, I believe it too. I don't trust the government there. I don't trust really any government, but I especially do not trust their motivations and their approach to life and people and their country. Listen, I'm proud of the United States, and I love the United States, and I always will. But it doesn't mean that I like everything about it or I love it. There are things that I hate about it, like what's going on now in the United States with just a host of things. I'm not even going to get into that. We're just about out of time. So we got about 5 minutes left, and that's it. Got to make these streams shorter and shorter. Got to do it to where it's, like 9:15 to 10:15 every day, or 9 to 10:15, or something like that every day. But you know, getting back to the whole gist of this conversation, I really like that line. I think it was from, what was that movie? Network. You can't handle the truth, or was it A Few Good Men? You can't handle the truth. And sometimes people, they need to handle the truth. They need to get it. They need to understand that we can put any kind of spin we want on something. We can spin it as fantastic if we want. Just look at the difference between Democrats and Republicans in the United States and how they spin things. And I'm not saying one way or another. They both are guilty of it. But just look at that, and that's a perfect example of how the spin game. Thailand, UK pop similar CV 19 2000. Please stay safe. Yes, Jono. Stay safe. Have you registered, or what are you doing? You're waiting for the Moderna, or what's going on? I forgot to even ask you. When I open my balcony, get some girls to pass by and flash me. I'm scared to go on Pornhub now. Joking, you evil trolls watching. Cobra Golding, yes, I know. The reason Mary used funds to personally buy 100,000 dose for Sinopharm for Patsy ID card ties for interest. Yeah, well, if all these bars are still shut down in August, which who knows if they will be or not. I think the bar owners, listen, this is a whole nother topic. Bar owners, people in the entertainment industry, not only in Phuket, but in Pattaya and also in Bangkok, they're hurting. And the government doesn't seem to be doing anything. And they want some action. They want action. And they're trying to do things peaceably, but it doesn't seem like they're making much headway or enough headway. So that's something to think about. Thailand, relatively few ICU beds, most full. Yeah, I mean, this is another thing. This is another reason my wife was like, be careful. Be careful. There's not enough hospital beds. What are we going to do? Well, get people vaccinated. That's the first step. Get them all vaccinated. Honestly, and I said this yesterday, get them hospitals. What is the deal? The hospitals, they start at like 9 and they end at like 4 when they're vaccinating people. Make it a 24/7 procedure. They're open 24/7. Go in, get your vaccination. Go after work. Whether it's day or night, go and get vaccinated. That's how you're going to get people vaccinated more quickly. Every place needs to be open 24 hours. 24-hour drive-through vaccinations. You want to do it, you'll do it. Find a way. Get it done. You do that, and then the rest hopefully will fall into place. Now, you might have to get a booster. That's what I was told. I was told, once you get the second shot, a little down the line, you can get yourself a Moderna booster. So, well, the idea is that if people are vaccinated, not as many people are going to need the ICU. And that hopefully the numbers will go down, not up. Now is not the time to open up if you want to look at things from a medical perspective. The numbers are getting worse. They're not getting better. I think Bangkok had 1,900 people. Bangkok, in my opinion, is on the verge of a shutdown. I was told by somebody yesterday, Phuket may be on the verge of another lockdown. Pattaya. Now, I don't know about that, but I can tell you that all over Thailand, it's getting worse. It's not getting better. And it's not going to get better until, people get vaccinated. I don't know how many times I can say it. As much as the anti-vaxxers want to believe that, you're going to turn into a frog, or, it's going to kill you 10 years from now or whatever. Listen, I don't think we have to worry about that. Yeah, I mean, the vaccination rate here is what, now 5%, maybe, if that. It's horrible. It's, and things take time, understandably. Exactly. I believe it is going to get worse before it gets better. And it's my belief. I wish I could say, oh no, the glass is half full. It's not half empty. Things are going to get better. Don't you worry, everybody. It's going to be okay in the next month. No, it's not. I don't think it is. That's my own opinion. I don't say that it's fact, but I'm making a somewhat informed decision, a guesstimate, again. Well, okay, side trip life. I definitely agree with you there. This is what it's all about. Get them vaccinated, get it done, start opening up. And one thing, I'll tell you something, I don't really like this, is I go into the grocery store and you got some guy running around with a little pin on him, or even in Starbucks, they got the little pin, check, vaccinated. Oh, how many shots have you had? Oh, one. Well, then you're not fully vaccinated. So why are you putting that pin on? I don't particularly like that. I think that's a little bit misleading to people. So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we've come to another conclusion of a stream. I'm sorry about all the difficulties. I don't know what's going on with our internet. Hopefully we'll get it squared away. I'm going to run some more tests and try to get back to using the OBS or StreamYard. StreamYard, say what you will about it, it works. Carlos, you take care as well. Take care of your family. That's what's important. I was just thinking about, when was the last time Alex really went anywhere? A couple of weeks. He goes outside in the front of the house. That's about it. Gennaro, Choke D, I will be in touch with you shortly, let you know what's going on. Everybody, thank you very much for joining. Again, please smash that like button if you haven't done so already. For those people who are commenting in the chat, you are already subscribed, so thank you very much. For those people who are watching and are not subscribed, consider subscribing. You don't have to click the notification bell. I never click the notification bell. Honestly, I never do, because I don't want to get a bunch of messages. I understand that. Think about getting a shirt. Again, I'm going to say Heat Wave. Just remember the song, Heat Wave. Heat Wave, Heat Wave, Heat Wave. Heat Wave, you get 10% off on all shirts, and everything else is down there in the description. So until next time, that's all I have. Nice to see everybody here in the chat. Spaceman, how you doing? Jerkin. Choke D, good luck. Now, Jerkin Mai, which is see you later. Alligator. No, it's not alligator, but it's see you later. I don't know how you say alligator in Thai. I think it's alligator, or it's chorake, which is crocodile, which is not an alligator. There's a difference, but anyway. You're welcome, and that's it. I'll talk to you guys later, all right? Choke D, Leo Jerkin Mai, and I am in Bangkok, where I'll be probably for at least another month. See ya.